The story of Ajamil. Ajamil remembers Narayan at the time of his death, thus attaining liberation and liberation in life. So, the story of Ajamil starts as the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul here refers to the God, the soul which is always pure, always mentions that one should not become a sinner like a Jamil. A sinner means one who is influenced by the vices such as lust, attachment, anger, ego, and greed. A Jamil symbolizes the vices because he had so many of them. A jamil is basically a symbol to represent today's state of life. When there is the influence of one vice, it is usually accompanied by another. So all these vices are interconnected. We have one, we have the others as well. Prior to becoming such a sinner, a jamil was a pious Brahmin who worshipped God daily. He was very regular in his duties, frequently observing fasts and penances. He was a praiseworthy man and a great devotee of Lord Narayan. He worked as a businessman and his younger son was Narayan. One day, Ajamil went to a forest. There he met a beautiful woman, fell in love with her, and ultimately married her. From that day onwards, being very attached to his wife, he neglected his worship and prayer. 8 sons were born to him. He had now become an ordinary man. At the time of his death, the messengers of Yama appeared to him. Frightened, he called aloud, calling to his youngest son Narayan to come and help him. While calling out to Narayan, he realized how pure the boy was in comparison to himself. He began to reflect on the many sins he had committed and thought, I must ask God's forgiveness. He then kept asking God to forgive him by continually calling out for God's forgiveness. At the last moment, he was able to link himself with God. Because of this last minute link, he became pure and attained liberation. The story tells us that one should not become a sinner like a Jamil. So, this is the conclusion or the message from the story. However, if one has made a mistake, one should ask for forgiveness from God and not repeating it. Because Ajamil kept calling out to Narayan, his eye of knowledge opened the Supreme Soul always says that understanding the godly knowledge imparted by him, even sinners like Ajamil are able to attain liberation and liberation in life. If one is able to attain liberation by having a last minute link with God, how much greater will be the reward of one who remembers the Supreme Soul with faith and devotion over a long period of time. Thank you. With this, we end our story of Ajamil.